But yeah, I just want to take it back, Guenther, because you've done something quite remarkable in that lots of people and lots of names have come in and rebadged an existing racing team, and there's many examples of that. And then they've taken the foundations of that rebadged racing team, and then some have gone on to win championships, and some have not worked out. You've gone and managed to, through your contacts and your business and everything in America, you've managed to persuade an investor, if I can say it like that, in Gene Haas, to set up an independent structure already before the budget cap, which was trying to, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, of course, you will clarify if I've got this wrong. You've already seen an opportunity to be more cost effective in operating a Grand Prix team before the Grand Prix teams started to have the valuations like they have today. So you've actually put the time, the effort into structuring that, and the valuation and the expense of what has been invested in Haas to where it potentially is right now as part of the new franchise model is a massive return, arguably the greatest return on any modern era Formula One team. So am I reading that right? And is there an element of you goes, damn, I didn't have equity. I've gone and helped build something. Okay, some people can say we haven't had the victories and all of the good things that normally would monitor your success. But in terms of return on investment, this has to be something quite remarkable for the owners of the Haas team.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think what you're saying is right. And I think it's the only F1 team, if you look at it, where the investment people actually, the founder made this amount of money, and it's fine because, and I'm not bitter about it, because when we started, it was not a good business having an F1 team, it wasn't a good business. And at the time for me, it was like, I liked racing cars. I wanted to do this, and I got the investor and he put the money in, and at the time, if I would have had a stake in it, I couldn't have afforded the running costs because, it took tens, hundreds of millions to get it going. But in the middle of this era, in this 10 years since Haas is alive, all of a sudden, everything has changed, with the popularity of the sport. The popularity of the sport brought the value to these teams, And sometimes in life, as I said before, you have to live by your choices. I choose not to have equity, because it was my choice as well, I could have insisted on that one, and maybe I've got something, but I couldn't have afforded the first 5 years. So in the end, you live with it, and it's fine. I'm not upset about it. I'm not angry about it, because it was a choice, which I took.
Yeah, well done. So on that, which is, I'm sorry we're dwelling on this Haas thing, because it's so important, because Haas for me leads well into the Andretti situation, and I've been one who's not sitting on the fence on this one. I believe Andretti should be in Formula One. There's a provision for 12 teams. I don't understand why the 10 teams are so greedy in the way that they protect. Well, I suppose I would have been the same myself.
No, Eddie, you wouldn't have been the same. No, you would have given your money away. You were known for your
generosity.
You don't know
exactly.
me. But the reality is that I think it's boring. I think had it not been for somebody like you who created, look, the changing tone, and I don't want to again blow this smoke, but Drive to Survive was a huge catalyst, and there's certain things in life that change things dramatically, and that was one of them. And I'm just trying to figure out, I'm going to come on to Christian Horner and why he's doing it in a second, but that's not for now. For now, I want to know is, we hear all sorts of stories about how the situation was with Haas, where he's going, what the team is, how his health is, and where Andretti is, and his age, and Michael and stuff like that. Surely there has to be in America, particularly with the advancement of the engine supplier for Andretti, there has to be some form of accord where those two teams should and could be probably pulled together.
I don't know about that one, EJ, to pull them together. 11 team, obviously, where the sport stands, and you have been there in the tough times, or we all have been there in the tough times where it was difficult to bring 10 teams to the grid, because there was not enough money around to go around. And I think FOM is just protecting the well-being of the 10 existing teams. That is how I see it, Eddie. In the end, if it makes business sense to have an 11 team, and I'm not going down to Andretti, I'm just saying for anybody, because it's not personal or anything. It's like there needs to be a good case how the other ones are assured that they get at least the same, if not more, because an 11 team brings more work, more difficulties, you expand. And FOM is looking very well after the teams now, after the sport, because they have got a vested interest. They paid billions and billions for the sport to make it successful, So
Sure.
I think they say, we did very well how we conducted business the last 5 years. We want to continue to do that. And I think, by the way, FOM hasn't closed the doors on Andretti. They said in 28, when GM is ready, come back. So the door is not shut. They left it open. They didn't lock it. So I think sometimes you need to be patient. I say the other thing. When I went out to find an investor, it took me 3 years to find somebody. I was patient. It's like you keep on doing it. You keep on lobbying. You keep on trying to do your best, and you get there. And maybe that is what they need to do in the moment.
Changing tracks slightly. You're in a situation now where you've got all of the knowledge and experience of building a team over a decade. Potentially, therefore, you'd be, an ideal person to do the same. Should should Andretti, for instance, there's also Otmar, someone else that was at Alpine, who's now around and about, and I suspect you've all got your contracts that you have to see out, periods of gardening leave and all that sort of thing. But to get your crystal balls out, are you still as hungry, as motivated to get stuck in again in the world of Formula One? Are you very much just sort of playing it by ear, taking the opportunities between your composite business, your TV work, taking your kid to school? What does the future look like? Do you have a master plan, or are you just riding the wave right now?
I mean, first of all, what I'm doing now, I'm enjoying, because I learn so much more, which in the future can be an advantage to me. I see that, and I was lucky to get in this position. I never expected this one. And I've not got a master plan. There is, if there is a project, if a project comes along, or I work on projects which can give me the opportunity to be on a podium. I'm not going around trying to get a job as a team principal in an existing team in the moment. For me, it needs to be something where I can say, I have the chance, like when I did Haas, I went around to find an investor because I wanted to put on an F1 team, Oh, I was trying, not I wanted. I didn't lose any sleep over it. I just like, this is what I'm going to do now. I try to do my best to get it done. The next thing is, if there is a project around, could be an existing team, a new team, whatever, to get on the podium. But the next time I look not only to do it today, to go to the racetrack, I do it, what can I do in 3 to 5 years? That's what I'm missing. Because you work as hard to be last, then you work to be first, So it's just like how you do that. And for me, just going into a team which is 7th, 8th, and is fighting for the same thing like we did at Haas, not to become last, that is not what I want to do anymore. I'm done with it. Have done it, got my T-shirt, I can move on. If there is something I can do to have success, and for success now means podiums, not only to be there, then I'm going to do it. If that doesn't come up, I'm pretty happy where I am.